Hello, I'm Mr. Aguilar and welcome to this tutorial. So real quick, this is going to be a tutorial in Illustrator how to create like a cartoon character illustration within Illustrator and some of the techniques you're going to use. So this sketch is off a demo that I'm using, and I am just going to show the process of how to take that sketch, which has been scanned and put into a file on the computer, and make it into a digital illustration. So first, a couple of housekeeping items. You want to make sure that you're set on Essentials Classic. So if you go right up here to the top, next to the search bar, you'll see that little square box, and you just want to make sure you click on Essential Classics. And you'll use things like your color swatches, which is this little diagram right here. And again, you have options to your colors. These are the base colors. If we have time, I'll show you how to get some more colors that you can look at. And then things that we're going to be looking at also is our strokes. So you can increase or decrease your strokes. Basically, when you're drawing this out, you want to be able to see your strokes, but you don't want it to be so thick that they obscure the illustration down below. And the last thing, in your layers, you just want to put that illustration on a bottom layer and lock it. So here you can simply just put the line art if you want. And one of the things you want to look at is you might have to do multiple layers for multiple backgrounds. You want to keep this as simple as possible when you're laying it out. So I'm going to get rid of the fill, and you just do that by clicking none right here, and then I'm going to bring that stroke up forward just by clicking on it. And now that I have that stroke forward, I'm going to turn it into a color. I'm going to make it a fairly bright color because I want to be able to see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to show a couple of different techniques on how to do this. I don't know if I'll do all the characters. I simply want to be able to show you the process. And I don't want to take too long making this video. So we're going to use our pen tool, which is P. You can also undock it, which I would recommend, so you have access to your other tools under the pen tool, such as adding a point, subtracting a point, and converting an anchor point. The other thing you're going to have to do is you're going to want to zoom in while you're working. Now, you'll see that there's curves and straight lines. When you're doing this, I would start with things that are in the background first and then move to the foreground. And then elements like the circle that's in the back, and there's like little cloud or lightning elements, and you see like this butterfly and this bird. I would put that on a different layer right below it. So I'd go to the layer 1 and put a new layer, and I put all those elements that are in the back just on there, so you don't have to worry about what's in front or what's in back. So I'll explain stacking in a minute after I draw a few things. So just start at a point, and when you do this, don't worry about how accurate you are or whether or not you're getting the curves, because these are all things that you can fix later. And I'll show you a couple of techniques on how to add these curves and how to fix them. I'm just going to draw as quickly as possible and keep this simple. Some parts I might want to have a curve, but I'm just going to, I guess I can start going into here. And the other thing that you want to keep in mind while you're tracing this, keep it as few points possible. You don't want to have too many points. And I have another tutorial on the pen tool. So if you forget some of the elements of the pen tool, you can go to that tutorial and just read the directions, and it'll give you a couple of tips. But again, the only way you get better at the pen tool is using the pen tool. It's just one of those things. The more practice you have, the easier you can get. And I'll be honest, even after using Illustrator for years, there's times where I got to go through and I got to remind myself fundamentals, things that I might just forget or things that slip my mind. So again, we're just going to follow this all the way down, and you can see that there's no bottom part into here. So we're going to take it all the way down. I'll probably round it out, or I'm just going to have it connect across. And again, the important thing right now is just to get it drawn. Having it perfect at this point really doesn't matter. So this is what I'm talking about. This element, this A character, that's going to be in the front, so I don't really care. What I want to do is I want to get right around there. So I'm just going to drop it in here and come across to this point and then come back up. Now, if I feel that I need to do anything else, like in some of these other areas, I will. And then what you have right here is you have this hand coming forward, and then you have some of that element behind it. And I want to get this element. I will treat the hand probably separately, so I just want to have this drawn out right here. So I'm going to come in to where I think I can do this, because there's that element, and I'm just going to draw along. So I'm going to treat that arm as something different. Command Z to undo something if you don't like it. The nice thing about using stuff like the pen tool is you can come back in and fix things later. You can add more points. So if you need to adjust a curve, you can do that. Now, most of my adjustments that I do, I will zoom in so I can see it. Now I'm going to show you another tool. I'm going to show you this curvature tool that you can use. So I'm going to zoom in now that I have everything locked up. Anything that I feel is out of place, I'm going to use my direct selection arrow, which is the white arrow, which is the letter A. And I can just move stuff around. And then any place where I see like, oh, there's like a curve right here that I can do, or I can just put that ear in there. But I think I'm going to make this into like a slight curve. So again, I can come into my convert tool and I'm just going to add a slight curve right into there. Other areas that are fine. So there is a curve right here. So now I'm going to use this curvature tool, and I'm just going to select right in here and move that curve. I'm going to come in here, put a little curve in. This is a really handy tool for creating some curves, and then you can go through some of the other ones that you've done already and kind of just fix them. And again, this is not my drawing. This is again a sketch I pulled from a demo. And what I want to do is I just want to make my curves look nice. So there's a problem here. So I'm going to take my convert path and I'm just going to fix it like that. So anytime you have a problem, the other thing, I use pink and my layer is red. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to double click in this and I'm going to take the red out and I'm going to make it a different color. I'll make it like a medium blue just so I can see. This way when you select it, you can see that blue line against that pink. Just makes things visually a little bit easier. Wasn't a big deal when you're laying it out, but when you zoom in, it kind of is a big deal. So things like this, move that around. See, this curve right here needs to be fixed. I'm going to just shrink that handle. And again, this is assuming you know how to use the pen tool. If you don't know how to use the pen tool, then you know, I would definitely do the pen tutorial. So I'm just going to convert. I'm going to convert some of that stuff. I don't like that part right there, so I'm going to zoom in and see what I did. And I might take, so like, I don't think I need this point right there, so I'm just going to delete that point. And I can move this one farther in. It's out too far. And this is what I'm talking about. You just go through and clean it up. Like, so if you don't like something, it's like that shouldn't be happening like this. So again, I'm just going to go convert this to make it a nice curve. So if these handles don't move together, just go ahead and convert it back. and that'll help you out. If you don't like these sharp points, you're going to have to add points. So let's say you don't want that sharp end coming in like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add another point in here really close by, and I'm just going to have that one come down like almost like a curve, and then I'll have this come in here. Now this needs to be converted. Now by doing that, I basically created a curve between these 2 points, a tiny curve. So here I'll zoom in so you can see it. And that's going to get rid of that point that was coming in all the way. So these are just little adjustments, and you really have to zoom in. And this is why Illustrator is so great, is because you can zoom in really tight, and you can make some really nice lines. Again, I'm going to move this one out. I don't mind that point going out. That's fine. This one's fine. Again, not trying to be perfect. So if I don't like something, I can just fix it. And again, there's that I don't know why this kept happening. Just go through and fix. Control Z to undo something if you accidentally grab a handle. Bring this in. And this is all you really have to do, is just come and you know, try to do your best to make it look nice and get some of these curves in. So like this curve right here, this is really hard to do when you're zoomed out. I'm going to fix the handle there. I'm going to come here. Now, I can make this into a point by taking this handle and converting it. So if I go to my convert ankle and grab, convert anchor point and just grab the handle, I'm going to make this into a sharp point. And I want it to be a sharp point again. And I'm always going back to my white arrow. And if I don't like something, I will just lessen that curve. So that looks good. I like that. I want this curve to be a little bit nicer, so I'm going to fix that just a bit. If you extend your handles out a little bit, okay, you can fix that curve. Again, not too fond of that. God, this is just, I'm not liking this one. That's a little bit better. I think I can probably just get rid of this point though, and come in here, and I'm going to convert this, and I'm going to drag this handle here, and then I'm going to make that curve with these two handles. This is part of that process, okay, because I didn't like that curve, so I went through and just made it like this with these two. So when you convert like a handle, I'm making these independent. So when you look at some of the other ones that move together like this, oops, that one's not moving together either. So I'll show you right here. So now I've made that one to where this moves together, right? These handles, where these handles move independent. Okay. And I think, you know what, I'm just going to let some of the stuff go that I might not be happy with, just for the sake of time. Again, something wonky is going on right there, so we're going to fix that. And I'm going to use my convert tool here. Yeah, see, something was just going on right there. Now, if you want that curve, leave that curve just like it is. I think that's fine. And then this is that part that's coming in. So we don't care about that. That's all going to be hidden. So again, anything that's going to be hidden by stuff in front of it, you really don't need to worry about it. I don't like this tangent right here. So what I would probably do is raise this a bit or lower it a bit. But I don't want tangents. And tangent means I don't want lines coming near this point or coming near this. So the other option is to raise this up. And this way you don't have a tangent here, and I don't really have one there. I'm going to lower it just a bit because I'm looking at this part right here. And then what I can do is I can push this behind that mushroom. Because again, this mushroom right here will cover this part up. This mushroom is going to be in front of our big character. So let's leave this stuff alone. I think this stuff is fine right in here. So if you want to see what you're doing, just reverse the stroke and the solid fill, and you can see again. I'll zoom out so you can see this. And that's what you have. You just have that shape that you're tracing. So when you're laying this stuff out, just leave it as an outline. And then what you want to do is you want to lock it so you don't mess with it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this other shape in. That's drawing right in here. And one thing I can do is I can mask out certain areas. So now you got to start planning, okay, what's going to happen. I'm not... So this part's behind and this part's in front. That is a problem. But we're just going to fill this up. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and I think I know how I'm going to attack this. I will just draw this out. I'm going to draw this out as if I don't care that it's going to be covered by here. And then what we're going to have to do is probably make 2 copies and then cut one. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And you know, there's probably a better solution, but for right now, trying to get this video done, I am just going to make this as easy as possible. And again, you want to use as few strokes as possible. I'm going to bring this handle down and then bring this here. Going to draw that up, get that curve. So you see how I'm using as few strokes as possible. And I just want that. Now, here's the problem. We want this part to be in front of the arm, and we want this part of the arm to be in front of this guy. So the only other way to do that would have this line follow the same tracing path, but we're not going to worry about that. I'm going to actually piece it together, so it's going to look kind of funky, but we'll get to it. So there's different things that we can do. So that's that arm. I'm just going to leave that here. I'm going to bring that right in there. This looks okay. Okay, see how there's a curve there? So I'm just going to take that curve tool and move that in. Right, that's fairly easy. That looks fairly good. Again, anything you don't like, just go ahead and fix. So there's that hand. So I'm just going to lock that one. I'm going to name this one left arm. And you'll see the problem that we have later. The other thing I can do is I could cut this here, and yeah, there's something else we can do. All right, so we're going to do that, and let's look and see what else we have. So he has another arm going back behind this character that you can't see. So we're just going to ignore that real fast. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working my way forward. So this guy's behind everybody. This guy is also behind. So I'm just going to work 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to go from back to front. And then I just want to see what's overlapping. So see, this character is being overlapped by the A. The A is being overlapped by this little fox character. And this fox character is also overlapping this. And this guy is overlapping this. So that tells you who's in the front, who's in the back. Go to my shapes. Again, I'm going to make a circle. You don't have to have a perfect circle. This guy's a little wobbly. That's fine. You can conform and move this guy around. I'm going to leave it as a perfect circle just to make it easier. And then this one has kind of this weird shape coming here with the circle on top. So I'm also going to be doing that, but I'll do that after I get these legs done. So now that I have this, I have these 2 legs that are coming in. And again, let's not make it too difficult. And these legs are going to disappear behind the boot. So it really doesn't matter. And then I'm going to come over here and do this one. Now here's the important thing I need you all to understand. I'm going to make this a little lower. I don't like tangents. So right now, what we want is we want the circle to be in front of the legs. Okay, and right now the legs are in the front of the circle because they're the last things I drew. So if you come here, you'll see leg and leg. So I'm going to put middle guy. Label it how you want to. And then I'm going to put, let's see, left leg and right leg. Don't skip this. This will save you from a headache in the long run. And I know I need the middle guy to be in front of his legs, right? So I know he needs to be in front of his legs. I've explained this before. Think bunk beds. Who's ever's on the top bunk's going to be on the top. Who's ever on the bottom bunk's going to be on the bottom. So we want to make sure that we have that. So now I have this guy drawn out. You can see that he has a hat. He has some ears. So I can start doing those elements. If you want, you know, you can... And these ears are going to go behind. Okay. So that ear is going to go behind. Okay, so I'm just going to put left ear. And then I'm going to do the right ear. And make this right ear a little bit bigger and then have it come around. And again, right ear. And just move it down below. All right, so I have that guy done. Top hat, let's do the hat. There's variations on how you can do the hat. So let's look at what we can do for this hat. I think I'm just going to draw it out. I think that's the easiest way to do it. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to add a curve. Don't like where that went to, so I'm going to come here again, add that curve. I'm going to have this come here, extend it out. I'm going to come around to this side, bring that in, bring it up over here. Come up here, bring this guy out. Again, don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. And you know what I really would like? I'd really like for this just to be one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these, and then I'm just going to add like I'm going to add a point here. I'm going to show you why I'm going to add a point there. Because what I want to do is I want to delete this one, and I want to delete this one. And I just want to have this hat here, and I want this to come out. And I'm going to have you come out just a little bit. And that'll help keep the hat smooth. And then I can have that come down just a bit and move that up. Okay, so that'll help keep that hat smooth. And if you want to see it, again, you can do that. If the hat's going to be black, I don't want it to be pure black, so I'm going to pick I'm going to pick like a charcoal, like a dark charcoal for the hat. And again, I applied a stroke to it. I'm just going to flip that and get rid of the stroke. And this hat, I want it to be a little bit bluish, so I'm going to take and add a little bit of blue to that black, make that a little bit darker. And that gives me kind of like a bluish black. And again, gonna bring that down just a little bit. And you can see that nice curve, right? So this is gonna be the hat. So let's go in here and label this the hat. I'm not gonna draw everything out. If I draw everything out, like the eyes and whatnot, it's gonna take way too long. So I just want to be able to show you guys how to do a few things. One nice thing that I see here though, I see this nice little break where I have this shape coming in here, and I think I can use it to solve my problem. Let's get some of this other stuff done next. I'm gonna take care of this A guy first, because he's fairly easy. He is an A. And I'm just going to have that come here and add that little curve. So I want to keep some of these little curves that are in the sketch to keep it whimsical. And I'm going to go a little bit below the boot. And you can see where I didn't change this, so I'm just going to flip that back. I'll leave it that color. Now here's the problem. See this line that's right here? One thing I could do is double back on there and bring that in. So let's do this. I can bring this in later. I can draw that line later and bring it in. So that's something I might want to add in if I want to keep some outlines on this. And there will be times where it's like trial and error. Got to figure things out. Let's do the boots. And this is a little bit too far out right here. I just selected the leg. I'm going to lock that leg. I'm going to lock these ears. I'm going to lock that face. And this way I don't have to worry about accidentally grabbing something. So I'm going to do here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw this boot. And again, there's other ways to do this. Little complicated though. So for right now, for this video, I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. Okay. And I'm going to start drawing this boot. And there's a curve, and that's fine. I can get that curve later. I can show you another trick to do, get those curves. Come in here, get this boot. Okay, so one of the things I want to show you, and I want to move this just a nudge in. I want us to go just inside just inside that boot. There we go. So see this point, there should be a curve right there, but you have these new little modifiers in Illustrator, so I can click that point and I can add that curve. So if I want a little curve here, again, I can click that point and add just a tiny little curve to that. This line right here, I would simply just add later. I just add it as a line and have it match perfectly with this. I just put a point and match it, and that's how I'd get that one. So there's my A, so I got the circle. Again, I'm not going to draw the eyes and the face and everything. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get some of these shapes. In fact, I'm not even going to try to make this guy nice. I'm just going to draw it the way it is. And again, you're going to have to fix some of these lines up. Oh, let's see, what does this look like? So this is going to be kind of like this. Get this in here. And it kind of helps if you keep track of like, okay, what do I need to fix? Like I know I need to fix this. And this is an easy fix. I select this, I just bring that handle up. Okay, so you have that shape in here. Now I did it this way because this shape is going to go on top of this shape. And then what I would do is this shape would just go behind this shape. Okay, so I can do this. Again, I'm not going to try to do all the curves. I need to do this quicker, so I'm just going to move. And this is going to sit in front of what we just drew. And this has to go below. So I'm just going to have this come below, below, and there. And then I'm going to draw my other shape. In my other shape, see where it comes right around here. So I don't need it to go all the way there real fast. So I'm just going to come here. I want to get this curve. I want to get this curve. Again, I will fix this line right here because I don't like it. I'm going to get this curve. I'm going to bring this around. And again, I don't want that, so I'm going to have to go through and fix that. Let's come here, and then there's a bit of a curve here, and we're going to have it go into the boot. I'm going to go a little bit below the boot. Again, the boot's going to go above it. I didn't like that line that I drew. I don't like that line either. I'm just going to have this kind of curve up and go in. And again, that line that's going up in the leg, that is something that I will add later. So I'm just going to come in here and do this. Again, you got to think about something's going to have to do with this arm, so this arm's going to have to cover up a lot of things. So that's something I'll figure out when I get to the point of doing it. Anything that you know is going to be a problem, there's really no point in trying to figure it out before you get everything drawn out. It's just a waste of time. And right here, I'm wondering, I don't want this right here, okay? I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add another little point, and I'm going to move this point right here down. And that's all you have to do. Sometimes you just got to add a tiny little point there to kind of help it out. It's so small and minuscule, you won't notice it. And if you don't want this one either, again, just add another tiny little point. Bring this down. Okay, and there you go. You have that nice rounded point. And if you want something rounder, just round it out just a little bit. Let's get this guy out a little bit farther out here. Okay, And this guy's a little wonky, so I'm going to straighten that one out and just move him in just a bit. And this is going to go a little bit more like this. All right. Zoom back out. So Z and then Alt, you'll flip between zoom and zoom out. So I have that shape. And then what I have is again, this little foot, this little boot. I think I'm just gonna skip this guy for right now. Make sure I'm on my right tool. Come in here. Again, I'm doing this to get this curve. And there's another curve right there, so I want to get this curve. And I'm going to come in here and here. So this stuff going on here, again, realize a lot of this is going to be hidden. So you have to start thinking about, okay, what's going to be hidden and what's going to be seen. So if you know something's going to be hidden, don't worry about it. Because it's going to be covered up. Okay, so I need to get this one a little bit farther over. Up. Back. Back. And there is a slight curve. And there's that boot. I don't want that boot to be necessarily pointed, so I'm going to make that a little bit round, and I'm going to make this one a little bit round, right? So I want to have that little round edge to it, and then see how this is. This needs to come farther in, and I'm just going to have this come down a little bit more. Okay, so I think I got my main elements drawn out. Again, I'm not doing the faces real fast. I just want to show you guys how to get the shapes, and then I got these ears right here. These ears need to go in the very back. I should have probably drawn them sooner, but you know what? I forgot about these ears, and that's the only thing. Now, I don't want a tangent, so I'm going to bring this in just a little bit more. And a tangent really is you don't want two lines meeting or a point in a line meeting, because visually it doesn't look good. You don't want things running into another. On the sketch, you're not worried about it on the sketch. That is something that when you're drawing, you know you're going to fix. All right, and these ears, so this is going to be, I'm going to go big ear, that's big ear right. This is going to be big ear left. Now, these need to go to the very, very bottom. So you can click on this and you can go to Object and go Arrange and then Send to Back. You can also hit Control Shift left bracket. So if I go here and I go to Arrange, Send to Back is Shift Control and then left bracket. So what we did is we sent that to the very, very, very bottom. So now what I want to do is I want to add color. When I'm doing this, I really don't care about the initial colors, because you can change the colors with a click. It doesn't matter. So when I come in here, I'm just going to flip this to a fill. Okay. And then the monster, you're going to want an outline, probably like a black ink outline. So this is what you do, and I have it locked, right? So this is what you do. I'm going to take him and I'm going to copy it. Okay. And, this is going to be big monster. And this is going to be big monster line. So that's going to be my line art. So you're probably going to find that you're going to do at least two. Now, I could make it a stroke and I could fill it. Either way is fine. but I'm going to click on the guy, and I'm just going to do this. And then I'm going to click on the monster line, and I'm going to take that line, and I want to make that line black. So you can see. Now, I could have just done the pink with the black, and that's fine. But, you know, I wanted to keep it. Now, you're missing this guy because he's also pink. Let's make the big guy like a light green instead. Okay, and again, if you make a mistake, which I just did, don't worry about it. So I'm going to go back to fill, and I'm going to make him that lime green color. Okay, and then this one right here, this arm, again, you're going to want multiple versions of this arm. So what I'm going to do is just click on that left arm. I'm going to make another version of it. I'm going to take this one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it like a darker green. Okay, and so you can see what that arm looks like, and you see that you're missing all this stuff, right? So what you can do, so let me do all this stuff first, and then we'll come back in. So I'm going to take this line, which is the second arm, the one that's sitting on top, and just going to make that black. So again, you can see that, and now you can see this guy right here. And again, you have to unlock and lock stuff. So again, I'm going to lock this stuff up. Anything that I don't need, I'm just going to lock it up, and then I'm going to start unlocking all these other things. I'm going to make this guy orange. I don't know why. Again, I'm going to make a copy of them. And the bottom one. Just make them like a yellow-orange. And again, this is where you're going to make a lot of mistakes. I wasn't on the fill path, I was on the stroke path. Again, just fix it. So again, here, I want these lines to stay. So I'm going to grab them both, and I'm going to show you what's going to happen. So I have them both selected. They're right here. And I'm going to hit Control-C for copy and Control-B for back. So I just made another set. And then I'm going to take those two, and I'm going to make them the pink. And then I'm just going to get the orange, so you can see that. And then what I'm going to do is take the two top legs, and I'll make those lines black. Again, I want to make sure I'm in my stroke. Make those black. I want to take the top layer of this one. Again, make those outlines black. So you can see how this is starting to shape up and how you're starting to have things layered. So I have the two ears. Okay, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go Control-C, Control-B. So I put those in the back. And I'm going to make those like a little darker orange, right? And then I'm going to take the two outline ones, which are on top of it. So remember, I pasted them in back. I'm going to go back to my stroke and turn that pink into black. And this is why it doesn't really matter when you do colors, because you can just change everything with the click. It's really, really easy. So let's keep going through all of this. And I don't know if I named this guy A yet. Nope, I didn't name him, so I'm going to call him A. Okay, and then I'm going to Control-C, Control-B. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill that guy up. So right now he is there. What color should I make the A? I want to make him, I'm going to go with blue. I'm going to go with the blue. Brighter blue. Okay. And then I'm going to take the line art. And again, remember, this is that bluish gray color. I'm just going to make it black. Now, are you starting to see how, when you have stuff layered on, how it's going to work? Again, I have these boots, and these boots are on top. Control-C, Control-B for back. Let's make these boots. I'm going to make them a darker blue. That's fine. I kind of want maybe a little bit of black in them. Let's do that. Just going to make them a little bit of a darker blue. There we go. And then I can change them later, so it's not a big deal. And then again, I'm going to select the lines. I'm going to go back in to the stroke. I'm going to bring it up to the front, make it black, and I have that layer. Then I have this guy, right? So this guy is my last guy. So we went from backwards to forward. I want this guy to be more of a yellowish color. And again, I'm going to hit undo. So I'm going to hit Control C, Control B, and I'm going to make that into that kind of a color. I'm going to make the line art, I want to make that black. Okay, and then I want to take this thing right here. Again, I'm going to hit Control C, Control B. I'm going to flip it. And I'm going to change that color to kind of like that orangish red. And then again, I'm going to click on that stroke. So again, I'm doubling everything I've done. I've doubled. Now you could just add a stroke to it. That's fine. I prefer doing it this way. This guy's in the front. I'm going to pick that same color again, except, and again, I keep forgetting. Okay, so let's make this black. Okay, and then I'm going to go Control C, Control B. I'm going to flip it. And I'm going to take this nice light yellow again. And I'm going to come in here. And I have options to desaturate. So I'm going to do a desaturated version of this guy. So I like that color right there. Let's see. Don't like that color. Let's go. So here, I mean, again, you can just start seeing what you're doing. I'm going to go with that color. And if I don't like it, I'll change it later. Here are the boots. Again, I'm going to grab both boots. And while I have both boots selected by using the Shift key, I'll go back to my color swatches. I'll pick black. Again, my stroke was not in front, so I'm going to put black in for the stroke. Control C, Control B for back. I'm going to flip the stroke, and I'm just going to make these kind of like a dark charcoal color. Okay, so there you go. So you have that. So now you can see again. Remember, I didn't draw like the eyes and the faces. Those would sit on top, and that's where you're going to label. So one of the things I wanted to show you is this arm. I'm going to lock everything up. Okay, so I'm going to come back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to unlock the left arm and the lines with it. And I'm just going to take this and lock all this stuff up so I don't have to worry about messing with any of it. Okay, if you hold Shift key and just kind of go down, lock everything up. Okay, so now I can just be worried about this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the left arm and the line art. Okay, so that's that black line and the color. I'm going to hit Control C, and I'm going to hit Control F to bring it in the front. And then again, I'm going to go to Arrange. So Object Arrange, bring to front. So that's Shift, Control, and then right bracket. And now you can see how you have that arm in the front. And I'm going to take this one and put it in the back. Okay, and what I'm going to do is right about here, the arm kind of comes into the front right here. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to slice this part right here. I want to slice this part right here. And the way I do that is I'm going to make a rectangle. And the rectangle could be any color. I'm going to change its color though so we can see it easier. Let's go with the gray. And I want this rectangle to be like this because I want it to come right at this point. Now I'm going to do 2 cuts. I'm going to do cuts on the line and I'm going to do cuts on the shape. So I'm going to get Control C, Control F. I'm going to have 2 of these. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take this line art off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this arm with this shape. And what I'm going to do is just go to Window, Pathfinder, and I'm just going to go minus front. Okay, so minus front. So now I have that shape. It's right here. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to take this arm that I have. Okay, so there's that arm, and I want to do the same thing. So I'm going to take this and this, minus front, and here's the problem that I have right there. See how it connected across? So I don't want that. So what I have to do is I have to get rid of that. So here's the easiest way to do that. I'm going to is it cut? No, I don't want that. Where's my eraser? There we go. I'm just going to cut here, and I'm going to cut here, and then I'm just going to select this point, delete, come here, delete, and if you struggle with this part, just let me know, and I'll help you out. Okay, and then I want to take this one right there, delete, take this point right here, and delete it. And there we go. So there is a slight little area right here that's a little bit off. So I'm just going to move that into place where I want it to be. Okay, so let's go in and zoom in and do that because that's presenting a bit of a problem. And I'm going to take this one and move him back. Okay, and I'm trying to figure out, so I got to lock this arm. And I don't know what this is. I'm gonna, oh, that's a random path. I'm gonna delete that. So this is the path I want to fix. It's this one right here. Okay. So again, I just want to see, okay, where is it that I need to fix? And I'm just going to bring it in. And I'm just going to fix it. So there is a couple of things that, like, see, this is what I'm talking about, tangents. You really don't want these tangents. And that's affecting with this thing right here. And what you can do is I can take these shapes right here and I can fix it through here. So I don't want that tangent there. So I'm going to select both those points and just move it. Okay. And then I'm going to take this and that's the wrong one. I'll just leave that one alone. I want that line. So oops. I want this line. So I'm going to make this line a little bit wider. Oh, and it looks like I sliced this line by accident. Or it needs to come forward. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Zoom out. Again, I can see it, I don't like it, so I'll probably fix that later. But at this point, I'm just going to leave this out so you guys can see it. Again, this is something I'd probably want to come in and address later. Let's turn off the drawing so you can see what it's looking like. And I'm going to stop with the demo here so you can see it. See this black bowler hat? I don't like, let's see, where is the hat? Here's the hat. I'm just going to make it black. So if you get the gist, you know, just speed up through it, look through it, and then the stuff like the eyes and some of the other details that you have, again, this would be something that if I had more time versus just doing this video, I come in and show you. It's fairly easy. Learning it's going to take a little bit longer. If there's things that you don't like I don't like the way this ear is right here, you can change it. You don't have to behold to it. And then I'm just going to go to the ear, and I want to go to the ear to the left. This is why you want to label. Okay, so I can unlock that ear to the left, and all I'm going to do is make it bigger so I have less of a tangent right there. Again, zoom out. And if there's things at this point that you don't like and you want to make changes to it, I would get rid of the drawing underneath it so you're not, you know, locked into that drawing, and then you can change what you need to change. So again, I would like to change this little area right here, but I'm not going to do it right now. And then again, once you're done, you can start adding the eyes and all the other features on there. So I'll do a second video. This one's kind of getting long, and I'm going to stop it right now. So I'm going to save this, Control S. So now this is saving, oh, and I meant to save this as a demo. So I'm going to hit Control Shift S. Save it as a demo. Colorful character demo. This way I have one for the students and I have one for myself. So that's it. Hopefully you followed along with the video and watched it. And then I think once you understand the basics of layering and labeling and remembering, whatever's on top appears on top. Whatever's on the bottom is going to be in the back. So the ears are the very back part. So they're behind everything. That is why they are the last two layers. And then this just sits on top. Okay. And here you can see I created, again, doubled up. So one is just the line art, and then the other one is the color. You could keep it as one shape and just have a stroke. I just like doing it that way, so if I need to make changes to individual parts, I can. So this is Mr. Aguilar. Until next time, I hope you learned something. I hope you're enjoying this, and I'll see you in the next video.